It's almost invisible. But think about it. Those apps on your phone, the subtitles on that movie you streamed, there's often one language underneath it all. So why English? Why is it, well, seemingly everywhere? And more importantly, why does learning it still feel so crucial today?
Yeah, that's the big question we're digging into.
Exactly. And that's what this deep dive is all about.
Not just that it's used a lot, right? It's how it's kind of woven into, well, almost everything in modern life. It's like this base layer for how the world talks to itself.
Totally. So to really get into this, we've been listening to this great episode from the English Speak podcast. And our mission here, for you listening, is to really pull out those key reasons. Why does English matter so much for, personal growth, your career, connecting globally, and just accessing all that information out there?
Okay, so if we take a step back, you see English working as this global common language, a lingua franca.
Right, a lingua franca, for anyone not familiar, that's basically a language people with different native tongues use to communicate.
Exactly.
And English Speak hosts, they called it straight up the global language, which, when you see the numbers, it's kind of hard to argue with that.
It's not even just about the native speakers anymore. It's the sheer number of people using it as their second language. That's huge.
Yeah, it's massive.
And it's interesting to think how it got here. Sure, there's history involved, colonialism and all that, but now the digital world has just turbocharged its reach. It creates this powerful loop, More English stuff online means more people learn English, which just makes it even more dominant.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
They used a really good metaphor, English as a bridge.
Yeah, I like that.
Like between cultures, countries, think about international business deals or scientists from different places working together. English is usually the go-to.
Definitely. And that statistic they mentioned, over 70 countries where it's official or at least dominant.
Yeah.
That really highlights how it works on a bigger scale, too, like in government and society. It's the bridge there as well.
It really lands when you think, okay, it's not just the language of, say, the U.S. or the U.K. anymore.
No, not at all.
They put it nicely. It's like a key that opens the door to the world.
Which is a perfect lead into the really practical stuff, like careers, especially in today's world economy.
Oh, absolutely. The podcast really hammered this point home. How important English is for job opportunities, especially if you're looking at those big multinational corporations.
Right. It's often not just a nice to have, it's actually a must have.
Yeah, a requirement.
And it's not just about, chatting by the water cooler. Think about the actual work, the emails, the Zoom calls, writing reports, presentations. So much of that happens in English in international teams.
It really is the working language for so many places. And they shared this story, didn't they, about a software developer in Brazil?
Oh, yeah. That was compelling. His salary apparently doubled just because his English got good enough to work with international clients on global projects.
Doubled.
And that shows something important. Investing in learning English isn't just about talking better. It's about getting into that global workflow, understanding international tech standards, working smoothly with teams from everywhere.
And that all happens through English.
Exactly. Which leads to, well, actual money.
Yeah.
Real financial benefits.
That's a great way to put it. Okay, let's switch gears a bit. Something maybe more fun for a lot of us. Travel. Exploring new places.
Ah, yes. This is where English can make a massive, immediate difference to your experience.
For sure. One of the hosts talked about being in Thailand, didn't speak Thai, but could still get around, order food, ask for help, just using English. I've definitely been there myself so many times.
Well, what helps is how much it's used in tourism basically everywhere. Signs, menus, info desks, airports, train stations.
Right.
English is often that common ground. It gives you a bit of confidence. Security when you're somewhere totally new.
Definitely takes some stress off.
Yeah.
But it's more than just making things easy, isn't it?
Oh, much more.
The podcast talked about how it lets you actually connect with people, locals, other travelers. You can share stories, make friends. It makes the trip richer, more real.
Yeah, it stops being just about logistics and becomes about connection. Like we said, it becomes the language of connection, friendship, and memories.
Love that.
Those unexpected chats you have, understanding a bit more about the culture.
Yeah.
That's often thanks to having that shared language.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on. The digital world, which is, let's face it, where we spend a lot of time.
Yeah, this is huge. You really can't talk about why English matters today without talking about the internet.
The stat they dropped was kind of mind-blowing. Over half of all the content online is in English.
Over half. It's staggering, really. Think about all the stuff out there. Online courses, YouTube tutorials, news sites, forums, blogs.
Everything.
English is basically the main key to unlock most of that massive digital library.
They give good examples, too. Like, if you want to learn coding or figure out digital marketing or even just find a new recipe, knowing English gives you access to so much top-quality stuff. YouTube, learning sites, expert blogs.
And it's not just about now. Think about where tech is going. AI, advanced digital communication.
Yeah.
A huge chunk of the data used to train those AI models is in English. So understanding the language, its nuances, that's going to be even more important for working with these new tools.
Wow. Okay, so it really is like a digital superpower, like they said.
Pretty much. Direct access to this giant pool of knowledge and new ideas.
And that access, it's not just online, right? It spills over into, like, formal education, too.
Exactly, on a global scale.
They mentioned the big names, didn't they? Harvard, Oxford, MIT, all teaching in English.
Right, but it's not just about physically going to study in those countries, which is, let's be honest, not possible for everyone.
True.
They also highlighted all the online courses, Coursera, Udemy, EDX, loads of them, taught in English.
So it's like a global classroom, as they put it.
Yeah. You can learn from top people anywhere in the world, get all these different perspectives. It just need that English connection.
It really opens up education for so many more people. Just need internet and English skills.
And there's another layer, too, the cognitive side. Learning English isn't just about downloading information.
What do you mean?
Well, the actual process of learning a second language, studies show it can actually make your brain work better. Things like memory, focus, problem-solving skills.
Really?
Yeah, some research even suggests it can, increase gray matter, physically change your brain.
Wow. So it's not just opening doors out there. It's literally making your brain sharper.
Kind of cool.
Very cool. Okay, so we've talked practical stuff, knowledge. What about the personal side, like how it makes you feel? Confidence.
Yeah, this is a really interesting part. How learning a language can actually change how you see yourself, your own abilities.
The English Speak host talked about this, how getting fluent just gives you this major confidence boost. One of them mentioned giving a presentation in English. And just that feeling afterwards, like, wow, I did that. That sense of achievement.
Well, yeah, being able to get your ideas across, connect with people from anywhere, it definitely makes you feel more capable, more sure of yourself.
Yeah.
It kind of pushes you to try things you might not have otherwise.
It's not only those big moments, right? They mentioned the little victories, too.
Totally. Like just ordering coffee confidently when you're traveling.
Or chatting with a tourist who asks for directions.
Or watching a movie and realizing, hey, I understood that without subtitles.
Yeah. Those small wins, they add up, don't they?
They really do. They build on each other and lead to this deeper feeling of, okay, I can handle this. I can navigate the world.
Definitely. And speaking of movies, entertainment.
Yeah.
This is where learning English can actually be, fun.
Oh, for sure. The podcast pointed out English is the language of Hollywood, right? So much pop music, tons of best-selling books.
All originally in English.
And if you learn the language, you get to experience them as they were meant to be without dubbing or subtitles, sometimes getting things slightly wrong.
Yeah, you catch the original jokes, the wordplay, the emotion. Things that just don't always translate perfectly.
One of the hosts talked about reading Harry Potter in English after reading translations.
Oh, yeah.
Said it was like a totally different, richer experience. You get the author's actual voice, the little nuances.
I can imagine. And with songs, understanding the lyrics directly, that hits different emotionally.
Absolutely. Plus, like I said, using movies or music to learn makes it feel less like studying and more like just enjoying your free time.
Yeah, sneaking the learning in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, something else we can't ignore today, social media.
Right. That's where so much global chat happens now.
And the podcast stressed how dominant English is there, too. Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok.
Pretty much all the big ones.
So if you want to connect with people worldwide or build some kind of online presence or just share your thoughts, English is usually the way to reach the biggest audience.
It gives you a voice on that global stage, lets you join conversations, find your tribe,
Yeah. And they made a good point. You don't have to be perfect online.
No.
People value authenticity, right? Just sharing your stuff, your passions in English, even if it's not flawless. That's powerful. That builds connection.
That's really encouraging.
Yeah.
It's about the connecting, not perfect grammar.
Exactly. Which kind of brings us back to that core idea, English as this unifier in our super connected world.
Yeah, having that common language just makes so much possible. Understanding each other, working together globally.
The English Speak host called it the common thread running through everything because it gives us that shared starting point and it lets us learn about other cultures, see different viewpoints, break down those us versus them barriers.
It really does help build bridges, fostering that cross-cultural understanding, maybe even a bit of empathy.
Definitely. They had that lovely phrase for it too, English becoming a bridge of hearts, not just a bridge of words.
Oh, I like that. Connecting people on a human level.
Exactly.
So, for everyone listening, especially if you're in the middle of learning English right now,
Yeah.
the podcast had some really good supportive advice.
Yeah, they were very encouraging. They totally got that learning a language is hard work.
Oh, yeah. The grammar, the pronunciation, just remembering all the words.
It's a challenge,
Yeah.
but their main message was keep going. Celebrate every little bit of progress.
Right. Don't compare yourself to others. It's your own journey.
And every new word, every sentence you manage to put together, that's a real win. Recognize that.
Yeah. Focus on your own progress.
Yeah.
And just keep thinking about all these doors that are opening up for you as you get better.
So let's loop back that first question. Why is English so vital today?
Well, it's about connection, isn't it? Linking up with people, ideas, opportunities all over the planet.
And it's about growth, personal growth, career growth, just expanding your mind by accessing all this global knowledge.
It's definitely about empowerment, too.
Yeah.
Giving you the confidence to move through this globalized world, speak your mind, chase your goals without language holding you back.
So whether you're just starting out with English or you're already pretty far along, just remember every bit of effort counts. It's opening up this huge, expanding world for you.
It really is a continuous journey, isn't it?
Yeah.
Learning and discovering, and the world you can access through English. It's genuinely transformative. So maybe just think about that. What
Yeah.
new horizons are opening up for you as you learn? What connections are you building right now?